You can hear me?
Yep. Check, check. Oh, yes, I can. Yeah, I can a little bit, yeah. Check, 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 check.
Also, you're our very first high-profile guest, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit. Yeah, I know, man. I know.
High profile. Hey!
We're live. Okay. I don't even know what to say. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody out there. My name's Bing, this is Chris, and this is Junior. I don't know if anyone's seen Junior before, but if you have seen him, it's because he's a pretty big deal. He's a pretty big deal. So thank you for joining us today. If you don't know who Junior is, Junior Fa is a husband and father of 3 children, a son on the spectrum, and a well-documented supporter of autism. South Auckland, born and bred, well-travelled, high-profile. Again, I underlined it, high-profile. Yes, out there knows high-profile. He's a social media influencer. Would you call yourself an influencer?
Nah, brother, no.
Got 25k on Insta, 14k on TikTok, YouTube, vlogger, and reviewer. Also plays piano. I don't know if you guys know that, but he plays piano. I got the piano tune just this week, so we'll see if we can get him on the ivories there. And he's also a former professional heavyweight boxer. And I say former because some big news came out just this week in regards to his boxing profession. So we'll get a little bit more into that later on. And he recently is on the journey to become vegan and recently left the Mormon church and is pursuing what I've written down here as Stoic philosophy. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I knew what that was when I read about it, but I did delve a little bit into that. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the lab sessions, Mr. Junior Fa.
Thank you.
It's building up.
Like I said, you are the first high-profile guest. So we've been doing this podcast for 2 years now.
Awesome.
And we interview our cousins, our friends, and
People, man. We interview the people.
people. And now you, sir, not only are the people, but you're our highest profile guest. I've never written anything down before. And I've got a whole page of notes here to get through. But firstly, what made you decide to come on the Labkids podcast?
Which we're super grateful for, by the way.
But we're nobodies.
Nah, bro. Everyone's someone, bro. So because of what I've recently been through, it's quite a big story to me, and I do want to share it. You guys reached out, and then I was like, "Let's go, bro." So yeah, man. But in terms of profile, bro, I don't really look at that at all, man. It's just like if people are willing to like sit down and hear what I have to say, then I'm willing to share.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get right into it then. So what happened was I've followed your socials for a long time now. And recently you shared the story that I think was on the Herald and the Stuff website about some decisions you'd made recently. And I read the story and then I started reading the comments and some people are just being dicks. And that's when I decided to reach out. I said, it's not normal for people to reply to those comments one by one. Say, well, what if you reach out to Junior and just see, maybe he'd want to come and talk about what he's talked about in that article, and then instead of replying to those comments, he could address it this way, which is why we reached out. So firstly, thank you for allowing us this opportunity to sit with you. Thank you for giving us the honor of being our first high profile guest.
Good. It's your privilege.
Yes, sir. Thank you. But no one knows, but he's got his manager and his agent outside waiting after this. But the biggest news, I think they led with that you were giving up boxing after a little bit of soul searching. Tell us about that.
It's a very big story. Yeah. I guess we'll get into maybe the big deal, maybe the catalyst of it later on, because it all came back to my religion. It all came back up to why I left my religion, and then like I've had to have new kind of foundations, because my religion growing up, that was my foundation, once that was gone, it was a bit shaky, and I had my boxing. So to me, it was my family, my religion, and boxing. That is my foundation. Religion was gone, boom, and it was a little bit shaky there. The reason why I left boxing is because it's hard to say it without going straight back into religion, but it just I was so dang
We can do religion if you like.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm a firm believer in following what you believe is true, whether it's religion, whether it's another form of religion. You know, some people call it Christianity and things like that, just organized religion. You also have some people would call their belief in sports team their kind of religious thing. So, tell us more about. You said it was your foundation.
Yeah.
So you were brought up in the church?
Brought up in the church, yep. Brought up in Mormon. Well, the church is Christ of Latter-day Saints. I know it's discouraged to say Mormon these days.
Okay.
So I was brought up in the church of Christ of Latter-day Saints. Didn't have any problem with it. Wasn't struggling to be a member. Like the things that Mormons are known for like, you know, no drinking, no smoking. To this day I haven't done it, and I've left for about a year now. But like me being a member, no problem. And then I found out some stuff that wasn't taught to me as a member growing up. This was just like basically like around a year ago. And like I was faced with these things, and it really shook me, because I was just like, oh, it's strange how people are saying that our religion started this way, but I always thought it was started this way. And then I kind of done some cross references, and it turned out that it was started the way that they said. And then I was very confused on why I wasn't taught that as a kid. And then I delved into that, and then I found out a lot of things that basically weren't like taught to me. And then so I left, and then I done some other researching, and I found out a whole bunch of stuff and blah blah blah. But that's neither here or there. But that was the reason why I left. And then I started to see the bad side. I started to see like. So I left my faith because it wasn't true, but then I started to see the harm that it does, and the way that it like mistreated, how there's a bit of a power struggle between men and women in the church, and then that just kind of led to me deconstructing from all of religion, because I didn't want anything trapping my brain. I didn't want to be fixed into like a certain set of rules that I have to try and like fit in, and so I freed myself from that, and then that was kind of like a very dark place, because I left what I knew to be true, and then turns out it wasn't, and then I kind of left everything else, and now I'm there on my own trying to figure it out, and that's scary, and I don't like. I'm not here trying to bash on religion, because I don't want to recommend it, because it's a very dark journey leaving it. But the way I got through it was just through basically philosophy. Yeah, philosophy, like trying to figure out like what these certain thoughts are. See, I delved into like nihilism, absurdism. These are all things that you face when you like lose your purpose. And then I kind of delved into that, and it was very scary. Yeah. It was very like lonely and dark. But
I can imagine.
Yeah.
How does one go about leaving the church? Because I'm born and bred in the church, and like if I got to that point. Do you just not go to church one day? Do you have to hand in a resignation? Do you have to talk to the big boss about it? Like what's...
Yeah, basically all of those.
Okay.
Well, you can, but since I don't believe in it at all, like I don't see the point on like wanting to get my records like kind of like stripped away from the church so that I'm officially not a member. That to me, I don't really care about that. But the way that the way that it works is that you just kind of stop going. But we made it public.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my wife made it public. There was something that I wasn't happy with that I crossed in Facebook, and I was happy with someone. Do you guys know much about the Mormon church?
Very little.
Oh, right,
Very
right.
little. I did study theology, and we just
Oh,
talked
right.
a little bit about that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so there's Joseph Smith,
Yes, sir.
and he's basically the founder of our church. And so there was a little article on him basically confessing on why us as members weren't taught like his true history, and that kind of gave me the green light to kind of say, like, to kind of express, this is exactly how I felt. I felt very annoyed that I wasn't taught like his truth,
The whole truth.
Yeah, because to me, like the stuff that was hidden away from us is kind of very hard to believe. Is very hard to believe. But if that's how he done it, who are you to say that that's silly? Teach that to us. You know what I mean?
Is that publicly available? That stuff you found out? Oh.
Pretty much now, because the internet.
Okay.
But the church can't really. You can't hide too much now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, so what got me on it was that we got taught that he translated these things called the golden plates into the Book of Mormon, which is another testament of Jesus Christ, which is like the Mormon Bible. But as Mormons, we use both. We use the Book of Mormon and the Bible. And so we got told that he translated it through these like glasses sometimes and using seer stones. But the way that I saw the way that he actually done it was sometimes he would do that, but then most of the time, just for convenience, he would put the seer stone, a little rock, and a hat, and just basically look into the hat, and then it'll like show him the words. But it's very hard to believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, like just saying it like that, it seems silly. So I can understand why they kind of chose to push that away. But to me, I'm just like, if that's how he done it, then that's how he done it. Like, tell us, Yeah. And so
I make my own decision.
Yeah, man. It just seemed like they were ashamed.
Yeah.
And like I was like, oh man, see, that just kind of tells me that maybe it's not true. And so, yeah. And
how did it affect your relationships? So I imagine your family would be
Mormon. Yeah.
Mormon, yeah.
Yeah, it's think so on my side, not too much. If everyone's all good. We are members. We do live like members. My brother is still a member, but we're all a bit more open-minded and try not to like attach ourselves to the dogmatic beliefs of religion. On my wife's side, it was a little bit harder. So her parents are serving a mission for the church. Right now, they're actually close by. And all of her family are members and very, very staunch members. So on her side, there was a bit of backlash.
Have you guys been excommunicated from her family, anything like that?
No.
No,
Oh, well, there's maybe a little bit of a sour taste between maybe some of the siblings, but nothing too serious, thank goodness. Like, yeah, man, like her parents are wise and stuff, they're like, hey, man, if it's not for you, it's not for you, So, yeah, so...
And you're not going around bashing it or anything and...
No, but, like, sometimes I'm very tempted, because what gets me is the language of the church.
Okay.
Instead of confessing to the belief, they use language like "I know" and like and basically saying that without a shadow of a doubt, I know, and that takes away faith to me. If you know, then what's the point in faith? Like you gotta really just kind of own what you believe, say it's a belief, and say it's a strong belief.
Yeah.
But when they say when they use language like I know, I'm just like,
Cool.
you know,
That's very interesting.
yeah,
Because faith is believing something, right?
yeah,
And then they're turning it around and saying, I don't believe in it anymore. I know it. I know it to be true. So
Yeah.
it's saying, okay.
yeah, basically, and like I get it because that's how I spoke, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all the other things that are tied onto it, like you know, I know Joseph Smith was like true and the Book of Mormon and all this, but there's so many holes in that, you know. There's so many holes.
And so it's
to me,
been a
to
year
me
now.
personally, yeah.
And how has it felt, apart from it being a dark kind of place to be? Is there a sense of release, of being relieved of a burden or something like that?
Pretty much, yeah. It's very relieving because now I'm getting more in touch with my genuine self.
Cool.
I don't need something to tell me what's good or what's bad, or I'm not doing the right things to try and get into some reward that I don't know if it's gonna be true or not. You know what I mean? I'm living my genuine life. I get to make my own decisions on that, and my goal is to just to be a good person, you know, just to be a good person and try not to leave so much harm on the world. Yeah.
So leaving so much harm in the world, does that feed into the desire to retire from boxing?
Yeah, they fed into that. They fed into first they fed into me choosing to go towards veganism. You know, I'm just like, yeah, that is quite unfair that I'm like, you know, that we see that we don't value the life in like cows and chickens and just kind of like breed them to feed us and then die for us. And, you know, and to me, I was like, oh yeah, no, that doesn't seem quite right. So yeah, so they kind of led me on that journey. And then, but the boxing took a while. The boxing thing took a while because that's all I know, you know. That's it.
And you're
That's
bloody good at it too.
Yeah. So that one took a while, and there was a lot of denial. There was a lot of pushback from me. I just remember at the start of this year, I hardly went to the gym. I was doing training, like I was training, but just at home or just going for runs on the street on my bike ride or just punching the bag of the local gym. But I didn't go into the gym, and I was trying to figure out what was happening. Maybe it was anxiety. I was trying to like put like a name to it because I wasn't too sure why I wasn't going. And then my manager said that we got a fight coming up. It's good money, and it's a guy that I want to fight too. So like, you know, I was like, yeah, sweet. And that fight was supposed to be in a couple of weeks in Canada, but it's not happening now. But that was a fight that I really wanted. And at that stage, it was like 12 weeks away. So like, you know, I said, yeah, sweet. And then, you know, 1 week passed. I didn't show up to training. I was doing like a little bit of training, but I was in a really confused space because now it's time to actually, you know, take some action, like, you know, start training hard. But there was some pushback in me. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know why I didn't want to train for this. And then 1 week passed. You know, I started getting texts from the coaches and stuff. I just ignore it. You know, yeah. But they were texting me and calling me. Then another week passed, and they're just like, "You okay? What's wrong?" You like, you know. But like, you know, I don't reply to any of them. Sorry, coaches. Sorry, but yeah, but something was happening with me. I didn't understand it, and throughout this time, I felt very
Heavy?
very heavy, very sad. I'm not an emotional guy, but I've felt like I wanted to cry,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "What the heck is that?
Who's
bro?
this guy?
What was that, bro? What the heck? That's not me, bro. Junior 5, bro.
Knock people out, man.
Yeah, so it was just strange. And then as the time got closer, I felt like I really need to speak, you know. Throughout this time, me and my wife are trying to figure it out, you know. My wife's there comforting me. She's like, you're all right. Like, you should be going to training. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But really, I'm just like, I'm very confused. But then I eventually go to training. My manager finally got a hold of me. He called me, and then I was just like, bro, just pick up your balls, and just talk to him. So I picked up my balls, I talked to him, and he was like, hey man, let's just take it easy. Let's just do one training session together. And then we done that, and then I felt good. And he was like, all right, let's just go to sparring together, but let's just make a day of it. So I met him in the morning. We had breakfast. I went to sparring. I felt good. Like school-wise, I still got it and everything. And I feel fine. I go back to his house and we eat and we spend some time together, And then I leave. I take the next day off, and then it's Monday again. And I was like, all right, sweet, I'm going to go do some training at the boxing gym down the road. And that was when, it all, hit me again, because after the training session, after the sparring, I felt sweet. I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back. Junifire's back. But then on Monday when I was training, all that emotions that I was feeling before all came back, but in a very strong way. And I was punching the bag, and I was very confused. And then I was just like, I started to get up a sweat as I normally do. And I'm just thinking, what's this for? And then I'm just like, I'm training to hurt someone. I'm just like, why am I doing that? You know what I mean? And then I'm just like, I was very confused. And then I was just, and then I stopped my training session. I went downstairs. I ran on the treadmill, and that's just playing in my head. I'm just like, why am I training so hard to just hurt people? You know what I mean? Why am I putting on weeks and weeks and weeks on end just for the sole purpose of trying to, dig my fist into someone else? I'm just like, yeah, it was very strange. And then I went home. Then I was just getting worse and worse and worse. And then I started crying, bro. I just started crying. I don't know what it was. I just sat down, and then my wife was there, and I just started crying. And then, that was me knowing that I wasn't prepared for this fight. I knew that mentally, emotionally, I just wasn't right. And so I told my manager, I was like, hey man, I can't do this fight. And he's like, hey, no problem, And then he set me up with a therapist and stuff.
Had you seen a therapist before?
Nah, never.
No? Okay.
Never. But I didn't feel any shame in it. I think mostly because it's quite well accepted these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the stigma about it is gone. And I go to see him, but I go to see him because I need help. And the way he saw it was that he saw it as in Junior Father boxer needs help, and he spoke to me like a boxer, and he's approaching these things like, yeah man, if you do this, your boxing career is gonna be great, and blah blah blah. He's trying to fix the boxer, but for me, I'm just like, no, I couldn't go. Shucks, do you guys around this?
Yeah, yes, 100%.
I was just like, bro. Basically in my head, I was like, bro, I couldn't give a fuck about boxing right now, bro. Yeah. I couldn't give a shit about that. But but he kept on trying to fix me as a boxer and my performance, and that just really hit me hard. That really hit me hard. And then after the session, I was like, oh, thank you. But I was broken inside because I felt like people just see me as a boxer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, man, I need help. And my wife saw that, and she was just like, hey, we'll book you in for another session. She goes, but I think you need to see a woman because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So then I was like, all right, sweet. So then I got with my therapist, older woman, and she just, sat there, and I just got to just express myself and try to make sense of these feelings that I had. And it was good, man.
Yeah.
It was good. I felt so much better, and I've been on that journey. And I still see her to this day, and I'm talking to her. At this stage, I know that I want to still fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I still want to fight. I just know that I'm not mentally and emotionally ready for this fight, but I definitely do want to fight.
Okay.
But then as like the days went on, yeah, shucks, it was actually quite quick. Yeah, as the days went on, it just came a bit more clearer. Just that whole question in my head. I'm just like, why am I doing this? And I'm just thinking, and like I couldn't justify the reasons anymore. I couldn't justify that I'm doing this because this will give my family money and blah blah blah. But I'm just thinking, but there's other ways to make money, bro.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and try to fight someone. Like, and so I'm battling with that because that's all I know. I've been doing this for almost 20 years,
Yeah.
and that's all I know. So I'm just like, I was just really distraught about that. Not that in the question of like, what am I gonna do? But I'm just like, man, like, am I really gonna give this
Yeah,
up?
something that was such a big part of
Yeah.
your life. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I did. Like during that time, that was another very dark time too, because my religion was gone. That was my foundation, and my other foundation was boxing, and now that was going, and things were very like, ooh, But once I let that go, it was very, things were clear. It seemed. See, I told my therapist about it, and I said, like, I'm battling the identity thing. I'm questioning myself on who I am, because I thought I was this boxer. I thought I was going to retire maybe in my 40s and that, but I don't resonate with the sport anymore. I don't resonate with my religion. I don't resonate with religion anymore. And I'm really trying to figure it out. And I'm telling her this, and I'm expressing what I was like as a child. And like, what I was like as a child is very opposite to what, if you know me personally, that is what I'm like. I'm just a real chill, soft guy. You know what I mean? Like, if you knew me when I was growing up, you probably wouldn't think that I would become a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just because I was like the guy that was getting picked on. I was playing with my sister and, like, her friends and stuff. You know what I mean? So I was very, very, boxing was very unassuming in my career, in my future. But I became a boxer, and they kind of changed me a bit. So I'm sharing this with my therapist, and she says, it sounds like you know who you are. You're just trying to, like, get more aligned with that.
Cool.
And so that really hit me. I'm just like, yeah, so I just let that go. I let that part of myself go. I was like, yeah, I can't, like, I just got to accept this, just move on. And that's what made it easier. So
Cool.
just accept my feelings, let it go, get a deep breath. Like, yeah, it's over.
And then-
Yeah,
It's been so, and then the decision was made.
yeah, pretty much.
No turning back.
No turning back. But I feel very, like, I'm very, very at peace with it.
peace.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy because I'm more in line with myself,
Cool.
and I'm trusting myself. And like, there's no one else to blame but me, and I like that. And, like, I like that I'm the boss, and that I just get to dictate what I want in my life. And boxing wasn't in it. It just wasn't it anymore. So yeah. So now I'm just excited for what's next.
Yeah, I mean, what is next? Jeez. There's a girl in my team who's been working with us for a long time, and she decided that she was just going to give everything up and move overseas and just want to travel and see the world.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, it takes balls to do something like that. And it's, this was an average Joe job, but something like you that you've been involved in for so long, and just give it up. And I was going to say at the drop of a hat, but it was a very long process.
The the decision to leave boxing was actually quite fast.
Cool.
But but then you got the whole backstory behind it. You know what I mean? Like my religion, which I've left for a year, and then that just kind of fed into everything else. But the boxing thing, the decision to leave that didn't take long. Yeah, but I know it's the right thing because like I'm more me now. Yeah.
And we're still working through it with the therapist, getting in line with ourselves.
Yeah.
Like that's very cool, and it's very growing up thing to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, very much so. Because like another grown up thing to do would have been to just like stick at it,
Yeah, right.
get the money.
Grin and bear it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Like, not for boxing. Like, not with boxing. You don't play with boxing, and I couldn't. Something that I was thinking about was like, you know, this was probably like a week before the announcement of my retirement, and I had already retired myself. But I was thinking, what if I do have to have this fight for some reason, and I'm just playing up with those possibilities, and I'm just like, I probably couldn't, because now that I look at it differently, if I was to accept what I'm going to do is very harmful, I feel like I'm going to turn into a very dark person. You know what I mean? Because I'm not looking at it as just a sport. I'm looking at it for what it is, like violence, like bad violence. And so I wasn't willing to do that. I wasn't willing to like damage my soul for that. You need, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't willing to. Like before, it was a sport. It was violence. I could deal with that, but now that I see it differently, I couldn't. Like I couldn't do it. I mean, I probably could have, but I wasn't willing to anymore. You know.
And like you said, you don't play with boxing either.
No.
That's dangerous. I mean, you could, you know, go to your 9 to 5 and hate it, but still do it every day. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
You're putting your life
different.
on the line.
Yeah.
Your family's well-being on the line.
Yeah.
And obviously your family behind you 100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry, tell me more about one of your kids. And you're a very staunch supporter of children and those that, do you say suffer from autism? Present with?
What is the right word?
Yeah.
Not suffer.
Exhibit, who live with,
I think just who are autistic.
who are autistic. Because not to stay too long on the boxing, but I remember reading about Deontay Wilder, who pursued boxing because he needed money for his kids' childcare and things like that. Does anything like that, is that affected now that you're no longer receiving the big paychecks of boxing?
No, like we got a pretty good system here in New Zealand for autism. But I think the best thing that you can do for your child with autism is to educate yourself on the diagnosis, and to learn your child, and to learn ways to help your child.
How old is your boy?
He is 10.
He's
He
10.
just turned 10 on, what day was it? Monday.
On Monday, cool.
Yeah.
So you've been 10 years of learning,
Yeah,
of
pretty
growing
much.
in that space?
Well, 10 years of learning my son, because when he was a little baby, he was showing signs of autism. I just didn't know what it was. I just knew he was going to learn different, because, like, you know, with babies, when they're born and when they're young, in their first couple of years, they watch you. They watch your eyes, and they watch your nose, and they watch your mouth, and they see the way that you like talk to them. My boy didn't do that. My boy didn't look at me in the eye, and he just wasn't looking us in the face, and that's a sign. I didn't know what it was.
Didn't know what, yeah.
No, but I knew that he was going to learn different. I was like, oh, okay, because I know because I know that's how babies try to learn you. Like, you know, like they watch your mouth and you go, ooh, and then they go,
Yeah.
but he didn't do that, and so I knew he was going to learn different. And then I think he got diagnosed when he was almost 3.
Okay.
Almost 3, and then he got diagnosed, and then that's when it started. I started reading books. My wife is so good at it, man. She just went straight in. Same as me as well. I went straight to the books, straight into YouTube, just trying to learn as much as I can.
Did you question it at all at the beginning?
Nah.
I know some people are like, nah, that's just my kid. It's just different.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of thing.
I feel it sounds a bit emotionless, but what I was concerned was this: how do I help my son? When we were told, oh yes, he is on the spectrum. To me, I was just like, sweet, all right, tell us how to help him.
Now what?
Yeah. But I didn't give that time because when that happens to some people, it is very sad, because what they had vision for themselves changes now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so they have to kind of let go of that, and they have to mourn what they thought was going to be. It's still a beautiful journey. What they might have thought was going to be Paris might have just changed to Rome, but it's a different place. But it's still a beautiful place, but it's different. And and they had their heart set on something else that's changed, and they have to mourn that. And I think my wife went through that a little bit, which is very normal. And I know a lot of people go through that as well. The ones that I don't like are the ones that just don't accept it at all, and they just live in denial, because that's not helping your child. So, yeah.
I've seen a lot of that growing up. Also in the Samoan traditional churches, where they believe, they don't believe, my God given me this child, the doctor's not going to tell me how to treat it. I'll do what I want to do because I believe in God. And you kind of sit back and just think, how can you be so self-involved that you can't see what's happening to this beautiful baby in front of you? Have you always been so thoughtful, considerate? I mean, you come across as someone who does things deliberately.
I don't know.
As soon as you heard about the autism diagnosis, you said
right.
you dove straight away into it. Like, you don't want to make ill-informed decisions to raise your family and things like that.
Yeah, I think it's like, to me, it's more. I attack it like an athlete with a problem. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's the problem. How do we get around it? That's the same thing that I carried into my life. So I think I got it from that. But then when I think back to it, I was like, oh, actually, like my parents are a bit more chill back. They don't get too too emotional on things, and I just try not to let things cloud my judgment. So maybe I'm like my parents. I don't know which one. Maybe mum or dad. Maybe a good mix of both.
Your parents still with us?
My dad died 2019.
Okay.
Mum's still alive and kicking well.
Cool.
A lot of energy, man.
Yeah.
She has a lot of energy.
And you're brought up with your parents in Papakura. Did I read correctly?
Kuraha, G.
What school did you go to?
Papakura everything. So Papakura normal for primary school. I for my junior years in primary school, I went to Calvin Road, which is in Papakura. Papakura normal school for like my senior and my, what is that? Is that and for my intermediate years. So Form 1 and Form 2 and Papakura normal, and then Papakura High School.
Papakura High. Kura hard.
Kura hard, bro.
Kura hard. Given you said you weren't, so boxing was kind of a very unassuming career path for you to follow. Were you a scrapper at school?
No.
No?
I've never had a street fight.
Okay.
I've never fought outside. Well, there was one little toss-up in primary school when I was very, very little. Someone threw, or did I throw? Wait, yeah, I think someone threw something at my friend. I picked it up and I threw it back. And then later on, two people came and attacked me. No one knows how to fight when they're like 8 years old, you know what I mean? And then so I just remember these two attacking me, and then I kind of got up and I grabbed one and I threw him on the, and then I threw him on the I threw him against the classroom, and then I'm just there, but I don't know what to do, you know what I mean? And then his mate came over and then he pushed me off, man, and then I just started crying, and then and that was my only fight in the street.
Were you always a big kid?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So
Always the biggest?
yeah, so when I was looking back to all of my classroom photos, not looking back because I think I only got like a couple, but when I'm thinking back to the classroom photos, I'm always in the middle. You know what I mean? So
To make the improvement.
Yeah, bro. So, yeah, so I've always been the tallest, and I've always been a tall kid.
And I saw you shared some boxing photos from the Oceania champs from 100 years ago.
All
And
right.
even then, all the people you're standing next to, you're towering over
Yeah,
everybody.
bro.
How
Yep.
were you in those photos?
Was it the one with me in the afro?
And in the red singlet?
Yeah. So, I would have been 17, I think.
Jeez.
Yeah, 17. Yeah.
When did you stop growing?
I think maybe.
Around then?
Yeah, maybe because I think after 17, then you kind of like grow like just a little bit more. Then I think maybe 19 I stopped growing. 19, 20, maybe just a little bit here and there, and then stop 20.
But because you're so big, do people always want to pick a fight with you?
I don't think so.
No?
Like thank goodness, because I wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Well, even thinking about it now, when we're thinking about you coming to sit in the lab session with us, I was thinking, but how does he even know who we are? Like, what if he's walking into? Oh, actually, if he feels uncomfortable, he'll probably just knock us both out. How do you walk around knowing that you could just?
Yeah, it gives me confidence. I think that's why, like, even though I've left the sport and I don't agree with it anymore, I still believe that people need to learn it, because it gives you confidence and it gives you a sense of reality of violence. And you walk around, see me, I walk around and I understand violence, and I know how silly it is, and that you don't need to go and try to fight someone over something silly. And if something does happen, I will act accordingly. Like, I won't try to go and like murder someone, or like, try and or just try and overreact. You know what I mean? I think that's where some problems start, is when someone gets angry and they overreact, and then the other person, since he's scared and since he's not really familiar with like violence and just been able to cool down and just be able to try and like tame the situation, they just get angry too, because it's like fight or flight, right? And so and then I feel that people carry that around, and I feel if they are a bit more familiar with violence in a controlled manner, and like they experience hitting and like punching and like getting hit and realizing that it's not as scary as you think, I feel like people will probably just be a bit more chill.
It's not as scary as you think.
Nah.
Standing across from someone that wants to take your face off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last week we had our friend JP on here, and he done a couple of maybe a corporate fight, and he was talking about that, and I still don't know how you can stand across from someone and want to take their head off, and then shake hands at the end.
Yeah.
And give them a hug and say, "Man, you're really good. You got me, or I got you." Like,
Yeah.
How do you reconcile that?
Because you both realize that this is just a sport. This is nothing personal. But in the beginning, like like when you're going to fight, when you're standing across the ring from each other, when you're preparing, it's good to picture them as the villain, like as someone that's got a personal beef with you or something. But then after basically like the first punch or the first initial maybe 10 seconds, you kind of ease off, and you just know that you guys are in this real violent dance. And then when it's over, like, both of you guys can be proud, because, you guys overcame something so scary, and you guys got to display what you've been working on for so long, like, how many weeks camp was, and just got to go there, share the ring with him at the end of it, shake hands, and then just move on. Yeah, so it's very, very rarely you see it become personal,
But you get like those violent kids who act out in school, and then oftentimes they say, you should put them into boxing, into some sort of physical sport where they can let that anger out, and then all of a sudden they just stop fighting in public. And I think it must be because of that understanding, right?
For sure. And you've given them an outlet, Kids, they got a lot of energy, and if they don't use it, it'll transfer into somewhere else.
Outburst or something.
Yeah, so like somewhere else, So
what are you going to do with all that energy now?
what am I going to do? I don't know. Like I've been reading a lot, man. I've been just taking it easy. I do want to get into something where I'm helping people directly. That's what I want to do. And so I've put in my application to become a cop. I've put in my application to become a firefighter. And so I do want to go along those lines, but I'm having a meeting with someone on Thursday. So one of my mental performance coach, Dave Neath, he said, "Hey man, I read your article, and I know you want to join the force and stuff, but let's slow it down, bro. Slow it down. Come and see me. You're a smart dude. I think you could do something else." And so we're looking. Oh, and so I'm gonna see him on Thursday, and for me, I just know I want to help people. I just don't know what that looks like. But since I'm still young and I'm fit and I'm strong, being a police officer, being a fireman, that just seemed like a natural fit.
Okay.
So I'm looking into that. I'm gonna talk to him on Thursday. I don't know what the future's looking like, man, but it's exciting.
Nice.
Would you still punch a boxing bag for training, for exercise?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Something that's very something that's most certain in this world is violence. And there's that saying, rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. And even though I disagree with the sport, I still agree that that you need to be prepared. If something happens, then then you're ready. So yeah, for sure, I'm definitely gonna keep myself sharp. I've gone into another art that I've always wanted to learn, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that's something that I've always wanted to learn, but I didn't want to learn it at the same time that I was boxing, because I know injuries can happen, and I didn't want to get injured from a sport that doesn't involve my sport. You know what I mean? Okay. Because that's just wasting your time. Because if I got injured because I don't know, somebody pulled my neck too hard or something, then it's kind of like what were you doing rolling around, bro? You're a boxer. And so I didn't want to do that when I was boxing. As soon as I retired, bro, I just went straight into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, bro. And, that's exactly what I want to learn. Because for me, with self-defense, I don't think boxing is a good way to defend yourself, because you're going to eventually hurt him, or you're just going to fight back with basically whatever
tools you have.
Problem, yeah. But with jiu-jitsu, you can control the situation. You can find a way to get them to the ground, control them, and just
neutralize.
Basically, yeah, man. And that to me is a much better way to, that to me is a better art to have on the streets, rather than being good. You're just gonna bloody start to throw hands and you're gonna badly hurt someone, which isn't really what you want.
No.
You just want to stop it. You just want to control the situation. Just leave. And just leave without anyone getting seriously hurt. Yeah.
That's a killer too.
Yeah,
Of
it is,
training
man.
they're rolling around and.
Oh yeah. What I've done 3 sessions now, so I'm pretty much an expert now.
Hey, in saying that, do you look at jiu-jitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu in the same light as boxing, as in violence? Are you? Long story short, are you gonna compete when you're a black belt?
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was just do you have to compete to get up to another belt? Because I don't know if I want to get back into competition. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't see them the same. I don't see it the same because, for me, I'm not going to, I feel like in jiu-jitsu you're not there trying to fully hurt your person. You're just there to try to get them into a certain position where basically you can stop the fight, and then that's it. But with boxing, it's just you're
I
just
get it. I
continually
get it.
boom, boom, boom. Like, you just
Till
want to inflict
someone's
as
out.
much
Yeah,
pain. Yeah, man, pretty much. So
But in jiu-jitsu, you're trying to gain the advantage to the point where the person says, "Okay, stop." I'm
yeah,
good."
stop. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. So yeah, it's very different. Yeah, but to me, like the reason why I want to learn it is because of the it's because it seems like such a vast sport. Like there's so many holds and different things that you can do, and there's also so many ways that you can do them. And that to me is a really lifelong journey, and I feel that'll keep me very busy for a long time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Will you still watch boxing? Will you go and support your mate who's having a fight?
For sure. I'm very, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can, I don't know. I'm
Like saying,
still
I'm on a diet now, but I'll come with you when you go for a feed. Like, is that what we're saying here?
and this kind of because it's I'm in a very strange position because it seems very hypocritical, like I'm kind of it's not just me leaving my sport. It seems like I'm turning my back to it, because I don't agree with it. I don't. Something that I hope for my sport is that they make it. I know for my sport that we are in the continuous pursuit of trying to make it safer. We used to box 15 rounds back in the day. A few casualties happened. We shortened it to 12. I feel like it still needs to be shortened down like a lot more, just so there's less risk. There's less rounds of people knocking each other in the head. Because I don't really want to see people trying to hurt each other. I understand it, and I still see the beautiful art and science to it. I've been doing that for so long, so I see that. But as a whole, it's a very violent thing, and I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I still haven't really figured that out.
And saying that, much like going to support your mate's fight, would you go to your mate's wedding in the Mormon church?
Oh, for sure, 100%, 100%. Yeah. Like whatever my family do, or my friends do in the Mormon church, I'm there to support.
Oh,
cool. I'm there to support. I might not agree with it, but I know it's very important to them. I suppose it is the same as boxing too. Like I know it's very important to them, but with boxing, it's very in your face. Like you're watching two people fight. I'm like,
But I like what you said. It's very important to them because that's you looking outside of yourself. Hey, this is important to you, and because you're important to me, I will support you to do that.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
And that's a conversation that I had with my daughter recently, and that's what she said to me. I thought,
All
sure,
right. Wow. She says it.
I go, I don't care about that stuff. And she goes, but I care about it, so you should care about it.
Oh.
Go to bed. Get out of here.
The teacher got taught. Hey?
Oh, that's good.
But maybe I taught her that first. And she's just telling me again.
Yeah, it's just a refresher. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
My girl trains also. She's down the road there at Smack.
Oh,
Shout out to
nice.
Smacky. She's
Baby
been,
and Sam. Yeah, I love them.
Baby and Sam. My daughter didn't want anything to do with it. Sorry, and we're just going to turn this around to be about me now. I got this thing with my girl where she has to choose an extracurricular activity at school. You can't just go to school and have your lunch and come home. You got to do some extras as well. And there's things like Samoan group. She was in the reading club. She was in kapahaka. And last year, term 1 came around and she still hadn't picked anything. I said, you pick something by tomorrow or I'm going to pick it for you. And she didn't pick something. And I'm friends with Baby from way back. I used to DJ their fight nights back at ABA about 117 years ago.
Oh.
And so I turned up there with my daughter. And she's like, no. And I'm like, just go and have a jam. She's going to look after you. And then will let me know afterwards. And then I sat outside in the car for an hour because she also doesn't want to do it in front of me.
Oh, right,
and then she comes running up, Dad, it was so cool. It was so cool. She was so good. And now she graduated from the youth class. She's doing the adult class. And it's been, now she's 17. She's doing the adult class beginners on 4 days a week and Saturdays in the morning. So from someone who didn't want to do it to someone who's now doing it every other day.
Yeah.
So hopefully 2 or 3 years I'll be sitting front row somewhere, maybe Vegas, watching my girl beat someone.
That's awesome. Like it's cool. Like you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? So you go in there. It's like, oh man, I'm probably not gonna like this. And you like it. Oh man, that takes me back to my starting days. You know what I mean? Oh,
how did you start in boxing?
So growing up, I watched my dad training downstairs underneath the house, and he was doing his boxing thing, and I used to watch him. And we used to have little, I suppose kind of spars back then, but I was super young, and he's just kind of dodging everything I throw and stuff, and teaching me little stuff here and there. And then at that time I was playing rugby, but then I started getting older, and I didn't like rugby. It was too physical to me. It was just very physical.
Carry on.
It sounds very funny because boxing is very physical, but to me it's different. It's a
little bit more calculated, maybe.
Calculated, exactly, man. It's kind of like a game, you're just kind of it's like a high risk game of tiggy. It's like tag, you know what I mean? Yes. But boom. And so I didn't like rugby. I asked my dad if I can join a boxing gym, and he said no, because I'm the way I am. I'm very soft. Yeah. I'm very soft. I was like no, but then I got a little bit older, and he's like, all right, come to the boxing gym, And then we went to the boxing gym. I showed talent. I liked it. And so we just kept going from there. So I started when I was 15, 16. 16, yeah.
When was your first amateur fight?
Would have been that year. So I think I just turned 17, just before my fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in 2006, at the end of 2006, I fought, and that was for the New Zealand nationals and the amateurs. And it was just me and some other guy in the weight division, and we fought, and then I won. And by one fight, I was the New Zealand intermediate, youth champion.
Yeah.
I was like, hey. Yeah.
Another accolade you hold dear, and that I heard about recently was in track and field. You hold some Papakura record. Let's go. Tell us more about that. A record that to this day
it stands, bro. To this day. I hold the 50-meter 5-year-old boys record, bro.
Let's go for all of Papakura. So if there's anyone out there that thinks they can beat it, record yourself running, and we'll see.
Yeah, bro. Bring your sons, bring your daughters, bro. No one's beating my record, man. I was probably the size of a 10-year-old, bro. I was the size of a 10 when I was 5, man.
Is there any interest in rugby now?
Nah. Just
no oval ball sports league.
Nah. That's just not my. That's just not my buzz, eh? Okay. I don't know. I think I get too much anxiety if I play with a team. Because I feel like if I do something wrong, and then I'm gonna let the whole team down, and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Junior, bro, what the way you suck, bro." Okay. And so, I was always scared of letting everyone down, and then that just clouded my judgment, and I couldn't actually think about actually playing the game. I'm just too scared of letting everyone down, rather than focusing on what I should be doing.
And then in boxing, you've just got yourself.
And in boxing, it's just me. I just get to rely on myself. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But it's all on me.
It's all on me.
Yeah.
Do you watch other sports?
I don't, man. Nah.
Golf?
Nah. What do I watch? It's quite hard, man. I got kids, got a wife. She they get the TV, and then when they're gone, she gets the TV, and you know, I'm just there on TikTok, bro. I'm just there on TikTok and just on Instagram or Facebook, or just talking to my boys on Messenger, bro. So yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I don't, because like, you know, because before when he gave us that like massive ass sheet, I would
my
say
notes.
I would said like what was it, fun stuff.
Yeah.
The reason why I was thinking back, I'm just like, oh, like I don't know what I like to do, bro. Like you know, like I'm always, I always put myself last. Like, you know, I just try to tend to, like, you know, what my wife wants to do or what my kids want to do. But what I want to do is just really just real boring stuff, you know, just either I'm just on my phone, Instagram or something, or I'm just catching the feed of the boys. Yeah, just real chill stuff.
Or maybe we can talk about feeds.
Oh, heck.
That's something I know a little bit about.
Oh, man. I love it, bro. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, it's changed now because, you know.
Yeah. But there are also more and more options out there for vegetarians and vegans, eh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind
I
of blowing
mean,
up.
yeah. I'm still trying to get little recipes that I like. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what I like, because when I started this journey, I first went on pescatarian, so that's just vegetarian with fish. And like, you know, fish isn't something I ever ate when I was younger, but then like, you know, I kind of learned to like it for about a week, and then I kind of got rid of the fish. Now I'm just vegetarian, and I'm cooking different dishes. The most of them are just with beans. I haven't given
Lentils and things like that.
yeah, pretty much. I haven't given tofu a try yet. Maybe I might, but yeah, but I do like the bean recipe stuff, bro. But bro, buddy, like, bro, you're just farting, bro, all the time, bro. It sucks, bro.
The musical fruit.
Yeah, bro. So,
What about island food?
nah, I've never really been into Islander food. For my family, what my mom and dad said was that like, so I've got two other brothers and two sisters. The boys, we don't like Islander food, but the girls like Islander food.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. So us boys, we're all
Where do you
princesses,
sit? You're
bro.
somewhere in the middle, eh?
I'm the second youngest.
The second youngest.
Yeah. So there's me, then there's my little brother Nemo. Yeah.
And the boys don't eat the island food,
Yeah, nah. But the girls do.
but the girls do.
The girls know what's up. That's why. Yeah, they know what's
Yeah, I
up.
guess so, man. I was just like, ooh, what's that? Ooh, what is taro? Yuck. I'll tell you what, I can't eat it now, but I loved Lu.
Yeah.
Lu, yeah. Yeah, well, I used to love that, but
With all the varieties, all the different
pretty,
meats.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And I think that was the only Tongan food I ate.
Yeah.
Unless it's otai.
Yeah.
And then I like
All
drink
day.
that, bro. All day, bro. All day.
Are you
man.
buying those $10 and $12 bottles from the shop?
Nah, man, I just make it myself,
Jeez,
bro. I
my
just make it
God.
myself, man.
I started buying those just to see what
They
the
good?
hype was. They're good. But it tastes like the one you make at home. It tastes
Yeah.
like the one your auntie makes. There's
Oh, there you go.
You know what I mean? Like, you go to KFC because no one can make it taste like KFC.
Yeah.
You know? But that all day stuff, not $12. It's gone up to $12 a bottle now.
Oh, damn, bro.
I mean, but you know, when I'm feeling rich, I'm still in there.
It's more expensive than gas, man. Shit.
Fuck. Oh,
yeah. But you
goodness.
you can then eat the Samoan style lu, the luau, the palusami without meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, would that be
Yeah,
something
could
you go
do.
for?
Yeah, that's what I say. But do they make like a meatless one?
The Samoans.
Oh, yeah? They do?
Yeah, just
Oh,
the
true,
taro
what-
leaves and coconut cream.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Some people say that we copy the Tongans when we add the meat to ours, but they've been doing meat for ages.
Yeah. Like to me, I thought it was just the same thing but different name, or is it?
No, so we
it
have-
is. It is.
It's a
kind of
luau.
different. Yeah.
The Samoans call it the luau with just the coconut cream in that. But when you add stuff to it, it becomes the luau, that meat. So luau bovi would be a beef luau, or
Yeah.
luau pipi would be the turkey luau.
Yeah.
But it all started with just the luau with just coconut cream and taro leaves.
Yeah. Ah.
And since you're a local, my dad's got a taro patch out here. I'll make some and
Oh,
I'll flick you a message, you
sheesh.
come and get it.
Oh, yo, sweet, let's go, bro.
The plug, man.
Man.
Yeah.
Never thought there'd be like a vegetarian dish for the other day I was thinking about like the vegan lifestyle or the vegetarian lifestyle and how much of a privileged diet it is, you know what I mean? Because for me, I'm the only one that's doing this in my family, like, you know, like my wife's not doing it and stuff. And then, you know, I was thinking back, I was like, oh yeah, I can't force anyone else to do this, because, like, you know, when I think back to how people grow up and they don't have those options, you know what I mean? They don't have the options to kind of cut out meat because, like, they don't have the means to do that. If I expected my parents to become a vegan, like, you know, and they grew up in Tonga, you're not doing that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna go and you're gonna get your fish. You know, your only concern is just to feed your family.
Yeah.
And then man. I guess that's the way I looked at it. I was like, oh yeah, this is a very privileged type of like lifestyle, because people, like, you know, the only focus is to feed their family. That's it. You know.
How connected are you to your Tongan heritage?
Not that much, bro. So I do want to get more into that. I do want to get more connected to the language, because I don't understand it and I don't speak it. So I do want to connect with that. I want to learn more. I was on a Tongan language course for a bit, but then I started to, focus more on training because I had a fight coming up, so I just left that behind. But now that I have the time,
those classes you did take, how easy or difficult was it to pick up?
hard.
It was hard,
Yeah, hard, because I think maybe I'm holding myself back because shame of not getting the words right, and I'm Tongan and I should know this, and I feel too embarrassed to butcher it or to sound too much like a balangi when I say it. Maybe that was holding me back with some
Both
of
your
the
parents
pronunciations. Yeah,
Born in Tonga.
born in Tonga. Oh wait, no, my mum was born here because her parents were here at the time, but she grew up in Tonga. Yeah.
Do you visit Tonga much?
Nah, I think I've been there 2 times, and both times were maybe 2 or 3 times, and all the times were for boxing. You know, so since I represented Tonga in my amateur days, the way to get qualified is to go there and you beat the like the Tongan champ, and so those will be the times that I'll come here and I'll fight. I'll go there and I'll fight, and then I'll represent Tonga. But but those were the times that I went to Tonga.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was.
Maybe you need to go back soon. They might throw a parade for you to farewell your boxing days.
Maybe.
Because they're very staunch boxing supporters, eh?
Yeah, they're very they're just very staunch supporters, you know what I mean? They just make a big fuss about anything, bro.
Anything, Tonga, those
They're
dudes,
very,
man, they light it up.
Yeah,
You
man.
get involved in the MMT spirit?
When I'm there, bro, then I'm like,
Yeah. You
well,
can't
like,
help it, eh?
yeah, bro. Like
can't
it's so what's the word? It's so bloody contagious, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very contagious, man. Like everyone's just there and you're going hard. It's like, yeah.
The Samoans try to emulate, but there's nothing quite like the MMT wagon. That stuff is gold, man.
Yeah, I think they think because the Tongans are too crazy, bro. They're crazy people, man.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how long that's been, if anyone's been taking time. We've gone so long that the other camera has died. So fortunately for us, all the live audio is going into this one. But before we finish, I just want to say thanks again. I know I said it at the start, and I know I was buzzing my ass off to finally meet you, and that you've given us the honor and the privilege, as you pointed out. But just thanks, man. You're very kind to give us this opportunity to talk about things that are very personal to you. I don't downplay that at all. I know that's part of the reasons why I thought you'd say no, because we're strangers. And And that is something that's very personal for you, and it's a journey that your family's going through. So I thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share, and hopefully we were able to all gain something from this discussion. But thank you very much, sir. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I haven't said much. I've just been taking it all in, and I'm just going to reiterate what he's been saying. So thank you, straight up, thank you. I just want to acknowledge, first of all, like, you're very open, obviously, and he's mentioned we are strangers, but you touch on heaps of stuff that's personal to you, but also we don't have many followers, but I can guarantee there's someone out there that might be going, not through exactly what you're going through, but the fact you talk about just the basic stuff like feelings and explaining that, the way you articulate your feelings, the fact that you're talking about that, I think that's super powerful, and that's given us big gems for our show or whatever you want to call this. And this is just made it a really cool experience for me, straight up, apart from recording this and meeting you. Just what you touched on today, man, I feel really empowered about all that mental health stuff that, to be honest, obviously we're not experts on anything, but the fact that you brought it to our table, we're very privileged, and I'm proud to be a part of sharing your story and helping the cause.
Nah, man,
thank you,
like,
sir.
you know, like I said, man, it's my privilege. Thank you for like reaching out, bro. You know, reaching out and asking me if I want to come on. You'll be very surprised, man, because everyone's got a story. They all want a chance to share it. They all want a listening ear to those who will hear them out. And you know, I just wish you guys the best, man. Don't downplay yourself, boys, bro. You guys are good. You guys are giving me a platform to basically express myself and share my story in my way. And it's just, it's good, man. I'm thankful for this, man, and I wish you guys all the best, man. Just like, you know, just basically keep on reaching out to you know, whoever, bro. Never know, bro.
Cool. Thank you very much. You know, just before we finish, I've been telling people that we're going to be hosting you tonight, and everyone always asks, how did you get him? Who's he? Who do you know? So we've reached out to some high-profile people previously, and it's through other people we know.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I've got a mate, and I got a mate that plays rugby, and you know, you're the first one that I just came straight to you and said, hey, you don't know me, I don't know you, but want to have a chat.
Yeah.
So,
hey, man, the timing was perfect because I shared my story and I wanted to share it in a more personalized way, and then, like, you know, you guys like gave me that platform and that like opportunity. So then I was like, oh yeah, bro, let's do it.
And that's only because I said, when I was reading those comments, man, I know people high profile like yourself, they say don't read the comments.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I haven't read them.
Some people are just idiots, but none of them follow the Labkids. So we're good, but we will share your story, and hopefully people get more understanding of who you are, Junior Far, not just the boxer, not just the ex-Mormon, but so much more. Thank you very much, sir. All the best, and we'll see you when I come to drop off some luau to your house.
Oh, let's go, bro.
Woo! Thank you very much.
Thank you. Junior Far's my best friend, everyone.
Yay!